Hey guys, me again, day 5 of quarantine. Still bored. So what I'd like to do is just offer you guys a really brief explanation, as brief as it can be, because boy is it complex, but I've finally figured it out and nailed it down, of the reserve retirement. And before all my active duty guys tune out and start hating on us, I mean, yeah, by all means, tune out if you're going to do your 20 years active duty. Remember, I'm guilty of that. I thought reservists were a bunch of morons, but now having been in the reserves, I realized we're all a bunch of morons. Totally fair. No, but seriously, guys. Now, I really didn't. I had it in my mind like, what could these guys know? They do it 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. They couldn't know anything. Then I realized a lot of these people do similar jobs on the outside, or they do a different job on the outside, which is it could even bring in more unique skills. And it's amazing how now with COVID, it's created so many different weird sort of conundrums. And the military is actually able to solve many of them by tapping into people's civilian skills, people that were in a lot of cases, prior active duty people that went out and got some sort of advanced degree using their GI Bill and stayed in the reserves for some extra money, and now we're utilizing their newfound education. I'm not going to name any names, but I have a friend right now that's on orders with FEMA because of his MBA and finance degree from really good schools. I know another reservist who got his biology degree and then went back in with the medical program. He's going to become a doctor. The Navy's putting him through medical school. So that said, just remember we're all on the same team. And if you're still not convinced, remember we stand to watch at Fleet Week, or at least we used to up until whatever. But we stand to watch at Fleet Week so that you guys can go out and party. And if that's not a reason to, at the very least, be neutral about reservists, I don't know what to tell you. So here's the breakdown. So as a reservist, you get a pension. You don't get it at the same time. You get your pension at 60 years old. You get your benefits at 60 years old. You retire once you have 20 good years of service. Everything comes down to points. So, for example, they have determined that 7,200 points would equal an active duty retirement. 7,200 points, that's 1 point per day for every day that you are on active duty. So 7,200 days is 20 years. So let me explain it in another way. So I'll show you. So basically, you get points when you go to drill, and you get points for being affiliated. So you get 15 free points per year for just being affiliated with the reserves. Actually, you even get that in the IRR. But be careful of IRR time. If you let's say you do some IRR time because things are going to be rough for you when you get out and you want to go to school, be careful of that because it counts against you for high-year tenure. High-year tenure is different in the reserves, but it's just something you really should be aware of. Okay, so you get 15 points for being affiliated, 4 points for every drill weekend, because a drill weekend you basically get, for each day, you basically get 4 days of base pay for showing up for drill because they figured out people wouldn't show up for 2 days of base pay, I guess. And then you get 1 point per day for all the time you spend on orders. That's your annual training, anytime you get activated, anytime you're on orders. So you get 1 point. So you need a minimum of 50 points per year in order to have that as a qualifying year. Now, it's okay. Let's say you get hired by a job. You get hired by the FBI. Look at you. Way to go. And you're going to, where's their academy? Quantico? Okay, good for them. Anyway, no, good for them, seriously. So you get hired by the FBI and you can't make it to drill. You have a bad year, we understand, you work it out with your unit. They make accommodations for you. You have a bad year. Well, guess what? You still got some points that year. Let's say you went to only one drill, then you get hired and whatever, and you get your 15 free points. So those points still count towards your retirement, but that year doesn't count. So now you're going to have to stay in for an extra year. doing drill, just make sure you get another year with 50 qualifying points. So now I made this breakdown, and this would just be an example of what your career trajectory might be like. This is what I figured maybe my career could be like, and what that translates to in the form of a pension. So I did 4 years of active duty, right? Now, mind you, I'm nowhere near done with my career, so a lot of this is guesswork. So I did 4 years of active duty. That translates to 1,460 points, okay? I plan to do 3 one-year mobilizations. Maybe they'll be a little shorter, maybe they'll be a little longer, but probably not longer. But so that's works out to 1,095 points. And then 13 years of doing I said doing the minimum, but I really just mean meeting your obligations, going to your drills, going to your annual training. That's 975 points for 13 years. So now it's 4 plus 3 plus 13. We got ourselves 20 good years. So what you're going to do is that's 3,530 points I might have earned. I'm going to divide that by 7,200, and I've got 0.49. Okay? So now, when you go on a mobilization, when you get activated as a reservist, one of the benefits is every day, every time, and this only is a reservist, like I did 4 years active duty, that doesn't count for this, okay? But if you get mobilized as a reservist, every 90 days you are on mobilized as a reservist, you are on active duty as a reservist, they subtract that 90-day period from your age 60 retirement age. So if I did 3 one-year mobilizations, I get my pension at 57, which is actually the federal retirement age. Okay? So if I do this, if I do my 3 mobs and my 4 years active and the rest, if you were an E5, which high year tenure for an E5 in the reserves is 20 years. I crossed it out because I'm 86. $857 a month for the rest of your life, plus free medical and everything. E6, 1,022 a month. E7, $1,200 a month. E8, 1,321, and E9, $1,500 a month. These are just examples. Now, you can stay longer. You've already got your qualifying years. That doesn't matter. The only thing you're getting more of when you stay longer, if you're not at higher tenure yet, is you accumulate more points. I'm going to do another video after this one. So if you've made it this far and you are interested, watch the next video. If not, it really doesn't apply to you. But how, if you plan on getting a federal job after the military, you may be, and you probably will be better off getting out sooner and going reserves, because your time can count. If you have 4 years of active duty and you can go and count those 4 years towards your reserve pension and those 4 years towards your federal employee retirement system. That's a big deal. But if you do 20 years of active duty, you can either forfeit that whole pension or apply it to your federal service. You can't use those 20 years at both places. So anything less than 20 years, you can put them in both pensions. And it's important to remember too, if you're an enlisted guy, unless you're making Master Chief and doing 30 years, you're getting a pension. You're not getting a retirement. If you want a retirement, you may want to look elsewhere, because you're not going to be able to retire on that unless you're moving, I don't know where. You're going to have to live very, very modestly for a long time, because Social Security is a ways away. Okay, so I hope that it was helpful. I'm not trying to reprimand you. I'm just trying to give you the information that I've learned, and I really hope it helps.